Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Toyin Fowowe and my teammate is Mercy Eitomi. We represent Team V from Pan-Africa PGS Education and Research Initiative, and we stand firmly against the motion that government should prioritize funding genetic research for climate-resilient crops over other agricultural innovations. Let us begin with clarity. Genetic research in agriculture focuses on modifying plant genetics to improve traits such as drought tolerance or disease resistance. Climate-resilient crops are designed to survive harsh conditions like floods, heat waves, pests, and salinity. On the other hand, agricultural innovations is broader. It includes precision agriculture, smart irrigation, automation, artificial intelligence, vertical farming, and biotechnology tools, where genetic research come in place to improve productivity and land efficiency. Our position is not anti-science. Rather, we argue that prioritizing genetic research over practical innovations is a dangerous misallocation of limited public resources, especially in the face of an urgent climate crisis. Every year, unpredictable weather destroys millions of acres of crops. Next slide, please. Across Africa and the world, the result is not just food loss, but hunger, rising food prices, farmer poverty, social instability, and ecological damage. Climate change is not a future threat, it is a current emergency. When governments choose where to invest, the key question must be, which solution delivers impact fast, at scale, and for the most people? We contend that immediate adaptable agricultural innovations outperform genetic research in urgency, equity, and reliability. Our first argument is the mismatch between climate urgency and genetic research. Climate change is accelerating, but genetic crop development is slow. Developing a genetically modified or genetically selected crop involves years of laboratory research, multiple field trials, farmer adoption, and still, it doesn't guarantee success. The process can take 10 to 15 years. Meanwhile, farmers are facing droughts, floods, pests, heat stress today. In contrast, other agricultural innovations such as smart irrigation systems, precision farming tools, AI-driven weather prediction, automation, vertical farming can be deployed within months. Governments must respond to the climate clock, not laboratory timelines. A second argument addresses the scientific limitations of genetic solutions. Climate resilience is not controlled by a single gene. It involves complex interactions between multiple genes, the soil conditions, weather patterns, microbial ecosystems, and even farming practices. A crop engineered to tolerate droughts may fail under flooding. Climate change is unpredictable and it is highly localized. However, genetic research often produces one-size-fits-some solutions, not solutions that adapt dynamically to changing environments. By contrast, tools like precision agriculture and AI allow farmers to respond in real time to environmental changes. Our third argument focuses on equity and access to the farmers. Genetically engineered seeds, they are often patented, expensive, controlled by large corporations, and this creates dependency. Smallholder farmers who produce over 70% of food in Africa, they cannot afford these seeds, or they are even restricted from saving and reusing them. This means that traditional seed systems, local crop diversity, farmer autonomy, indigenous agricultural knowledge. Other agricultural innovations like irrigation systems, precision tools, they are scalable, shareable, and locally adaptable. Government should empower farmers and not lock them in systems of technological dependence. Our fourth argument, this highlights the risk of oversimplification. Climate stress is multifactorial. There is heat, water availability, there is soil quality, there is pests, even nutrient cycles. Yet, many genetic approaches focus on single trait modifications. It can only address a particular trait per time. And this can result in reduced yield, it can lower nutritional value, it can cause poor adaptability, inconsistent performance across regions. Food security requires resilient systems, not fragile biological fixes. Other agricultural innovation strengthens the entire farming ecosystem, not just the seed. My teammates will be proceeding from here. Thank you very much.
From this point onward, we'll be addressing the arguments raised by our proponents. The proponents have argued that climate resilient crops are the foundation of food security as their first point. But with all due respect, we actually disagree that food security depends on systems and not seeds alone. So a genetically improved seed cannot compensate for poor soil health, lack of water, weak infrastructure, or limited farmer support. A case study for this is Ethiopia, where sustainable land management program was implemented. Despite having limited access to genetically engineered crops, Ethiopia improved their food security through soil conservation, water harvesting, and farmer training. And this led to increased yield and resilience during droughts. This is clearly telling us that agricultural innovation at the system level can actually deliver real impact without prioritizing genetic research. The second claim of our proponents was that genetic research provides long-term and scalable solution. But we argue that climate change is immediate and genetic research is actually slow. And this may sound convincing that the long-term and scalable solutions, but no, it ignores the critical fact that climate change is immediate. Take the case study of India. For India, it took over a decade to scale, and this showed inconsistent yield benefits with some regions actually facing pest resistance and farmer debt. This highlights the risk and long timeliness of genetic solutions. Another claim is that genetic research supports farmers, especially in vulnerable regions. Vulnerable farmers often lack access to patented seeds and supporting infrastructure because these things are expensive. For example, in sub-Saharan Africa, studies have shown that small-scale irrigation, extension services, and farmer education had greater impact on yields and income than access to improved genetically modified seeds. Patented seeds without supporting infrastructure can just only deepen inequality and it won't solve it. The fourth point our proponents argue is that genetic research enhances the effectiveness of other agricultural innovations. However, evidence shows that other innovations already succeeded independently without this genetic research. In Israel, for example, there's a high agricultural productivity in arid conditions, and this was achieved just through precision irrigation and advanced water management, not through genetically modified crops. Also in Kenya, the conservation agricultural practice that just included minimum tillage, cover cropping, and crop rotation led to an increase of up to 50%, improved soil health, and reduced water use without genetic modification. Finally, our proponents claim that prioritizing genetic research promotes economic stability and reduces conflict. We argue the opposite because dependency and inequality increases instability, not resilience. In parts of Latin America, there's this community that had seed banks and diversified farming system, which strengthened food security, reduced vulnerability to climate shock, and preserved seed sovereignty. This led to a greater social and economic stability. So we can say that true stability actually comes from empowering the people, empowering farmers, empowering the communities, not making them dependent on patented technologies, which would take a while. In conclusion, climate change is happening now. Every season, farmers and communities will face the harsh reality of drought, flood, and unpredictable weather. So let us give farmers the tools they need now and not wait for genetic breakthroughs because genetic research is slow, is uncertain, it's often exclusionary. While agricultural innovations are immediate, adaptable, and inclusive, government must invest where impact is real, where it's urgent and equitable for both food security, for farmers, for the future. We therefore strongly oppose the motion. Thank you very much. Here are a list of our references. Thank you for listening.